Hey y'all, welcome to Megan's Wreath Boutique. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how I put together a Easter wreath using a 4-foot Christmas tree form for the base of the wreath. So I picked up this Christmas tree base from Five Below. You can also get them from the Dollar Tree. And what you're going to want to start out doing is, of course, take it out of the package. And there's going to be a base of the Christmas tree. It has like a little plastic piece on it. Just pull that off. It comes off real easy. And then you're going to want to get some wire cutters and cut that bar that's sticking out. You don't want that to be on your wreath. I didn't have wire cutters at the time, so I didn't cut it off. But be sure to do that before you get started. It just makes it easier. Next, you're just going to start fluffing out the branches. And I've made one of these wreaths before, and I learned from the first time that these branches that are at the bottom of the Christmas tree are way longer than the top of the Christmas tree, and they kind of stuck out of my wreath, which I didn't like them showing, because you're basically going to cover up all of this evergreen part, so you don't really want any of those branches to show. So I'm just folding them in half just to make it easier for me to hide all the branches as I add the deco mesh and the ribbon and all my picks that I'm going to add for the wreath. So be sure to do that before you get started as well. And then flip it over and find just 2 branches. Do them kind of lower down. I think I still have this a little too high. And you're just going to tie them in a knot and twist them real good just to kind of make a hook for your wreath to hang on the door. Again, that metal piece, that bar, isn't going to be there because I'll eventually cut it off. I just don't do it in this video. I don't have the bolt cutters or the wire cutters, whatever you call them. So you want to make this little hook as low down as possible because you really don't want it showing out the top of the wreath. Granted, you'll probably have deco mesh or ribbon hiding it anyways, so don't worry too much about it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm cutting my deco mesh. I'm doing about 21 to 22 inch strips, and I'm just going to cut enough to fill the front of the wreath form. So yeah, I'm just cutting that through. Again, don't worry too much about the length. And then I'm just going to curl in the ends and scrunch down the middle to make, I don't even know what you call that type of design. And then I just twist it throughout the wreath form or the Christmas tree. And I just use 2 branches and secure it to the base. And I go through and do that to cover the front of the wreath form. Okay, so next we're gonna grab our bunny and I got this one from Hobby Lobby. And you can leave the bow like it comes, but I wanted to switch it out to match the ribbon that I was going to be using on the wreath. So I'm just going to make a real simple bow for the bunny, and I'm just going to wrap some ribbon around his neck and then make a like a bow tie. Okay, so here's his new ribbon bow tie, which I think turned out super cute. Let me know what you think. The next thing I'm going to do is make a bow for the wreath, and I'm going to make this bow with longer tails than I normally do. So I think I did like a 12 or 14-inch tail. It just depends on what your preference is. I just held it up to the wreath to see how long I wanted them and went from there. I'm going to do my normal 12-inch loops, starting off with this first ribbon, and then I go down an inch every ribbon that I use. So the next ribbon that I grab, I will do 11-inch loops. But I do want to keep the tails a little longer, so I am doing a longer tail on one side and then the shorter 6-inch tail on the other side, just to kind of give it a different look. So this ribbon, I'm going to do 11-inch loops, and then the longer tail and the shorter 6-inch tail as well. Right here, I'm just going to add some extra tails. I just cut a 14-inch piece of ribbon, and I'll fold it in half and use these as extra tails just to add some more layers in the bow. And then I'm just going to repeat the same steps for each different ribbon that I'm using. And on some of them, I may make the tails both long instead of making one of them short. It's just a personal preference, so do with your bow what you like. And this is just what I decided to do for this particular wreath style. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach the bow to the wreath form. I use a pipe cleaner to tie my bow together right there in the middle. So what I do is I just take the ends of the pipe cleaner and push it through the wreath form and kind of just twist it to secure it to the base of the wreath form. Make sure you're getting like a couple of branches in between the two pipe cleaners so it has something to secure to. And then you're just going to go through and fluff out your bow, put the tails where you want them. Make sure everything's standing up. Your loops are nice and fluffed out so your bow looks big. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these longer tails. I thought that I was going to make them loop into the wreath form and kind of make like another loop further down, but I think I'm going to end up pulling them to the other side. I think that ended up looking a little better. So just play around with your bow until you get it looking the way that you like, and make sure everything's good and secure. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and secure the bunny to the wreath form now. And the way I like to do that is I just take some needle nose pliers and poke holes in the back of the rabbit. And I'm going to put hot glue in those holes and just use some of the branches from the Christmas tree and stick them in the holes that I made. Some people just glue the bunny rabbit straight to the wreath form. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. I just always worry, I live in Texas, so it gets real hot, and I worry that the hot glue might heat up and the bunny will just fall off. So I just like to do that extra step for added security. This part is a little tricky, so be careful because you don't want to burn yourself on the hot glue. Once you get it stuck on there, just hold it there for a second just to make sure everything's nice and secure. So this is what we're working with so far. And then I'm going to add another little bow down on the right hand side, and I'm just going to go through with some extra ribbon that I cut into 14-inch strips just to fill in all the bare spots and to help hide those branches. Okay, so once we have all the ribbon attached and our bows attached, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some floral picks. I'm going to start off with this greenery and just stick it in here and there as filler. Make sure you hot glue these pieces in after you have everything placed in the right spot. I'm just gonna go in with some of this baby breath filler, and the same thing, just go in and stick it here and there just to fill out the wreath a little more. And also, just another side note, can you see at the top of the wreath where the evergreen wreath is showing? That's still where that part of the Christmas tree, the base of it, I haven't cut it off yet. So that's what I was trying to explain, that you want to get rid of that piece so it's not showing. And also you want to make the hook from the branches that you made lower down so that's not popping out the top of your wreath either. Also, I forgot to mention, but as I'm adding these picks, they come as like a big bunch of florals, and I'm just separating them like one branch per bush, I guess, or pick. So if you have one pick, you can get a lot out of it if you just separate it out into separate branches, just to help stretch it out over the wreath. Okay, so here's the finished product. Let me know what y'all think. I think it turned out super cute, and if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed and you follow my channel and like this video. And let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks again for watching.